considering that someone who is in an out-of-body experience can pass through walls, does it mean that you are vulnerable to people entering your house, projected, even though they have not been invited? What are the mechanisms operating on these processes, and what can you do about it? This is our topic for today. Hello, thank you for being here with me. It's such a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk about spiritual issues. However, in a very down-to-earth manner, focusing in integrating them in our everyday life to reach greater well-being. And the topic today is something that many people find puzzling and do not understand what is operating in this issue. There are 5 key points to understand on this topic. So the first one is related to the energetic compatibility between us and the person who is trying to enter in our house. Energetic compatibility does not mean that it's always a good affinity, always in a sense that we have a good relationship. And I avoid using the word affinity, even though it would apply here, because many people understand it as being a good relationship with someone that we share goals, but not necessarily. Any relationship, even if it is with someone who we do not feel well being close, or we do not have a good relationship with, or the person is obsessed with us, or there is any sort of issue, that person may also have some energetic compatibility, because there is a link, there is an energetic connection between us and the person. So that is the number one thing. This is almost like a key that they would have to enter in our place. Second aspect we have to take into consideration is the control, the capacity of the projector who is visiting you. Why so? Because for them to control where they are going to go, what they are going to do, and be able to reach the goal they have, they need a great deal of concentration, determination, so that they go all the way until they reach their focus. Many people, they have a certain goal, but when they are outside the body, they just get distracted. Just something else happens, and they end up start dreaming or going somewhere else. So therefore, the capacity of the projector who is visiting you is important. We need to, however, take into consideration one different aspect here. That is the natural encounter we may have outside the body. Many times, for example, you could be thinking of a relative, someone you love, a friend, or a friend is thinking of you and you sense energetically. And just because of that connection, you end up visiting that friend, popping up in their house, projected. You are projected. But it could also be that the friend comes to your place. So that is something that happened because of the unconscious connection. And this is not uncommon. However, doing it consciously and controlling it requires some level of ability. The third point that is super important for you to understand is the intensity and quality of the multidimensional force field you have in your place, if you have one. What happens is that by being very integrated with the place, by taking care of the quality of the energy around, and many people do it even not having techniques, it's just spontaneous to them. So I'm not saying you do need to know a technique, but when we know and we understand what's going on, we can intensify and create this multidimensional force field sooner. When this force field is established, it's based essentially on the quality and information that is present on your energy. And the reason why I like to call it, therefore, force field is because it's going to be selective. Some frequencies of people, and it's not properly a frequency, it's just a way of explaining, some quality of energy, certain individuals, they will be able to penetrate that force field, while others is automatically pushed away. They may try to enter, but they would think, why is it that I do not manage to pass through these walls? Why is it that I do not manage to get there? Because there is this intense energy force field there. And we mentioned before that the information in the energy is the key to enter in our place. So the force field is what is going to establish what is the key lock and who will or will not go through. I must nonetheless comment that some people, they have very poor energy field in their place, if any. And therefore, it's very easy for individuals projected, but also spirits, non-physical consciousness, to come, visit, stop by, come and go. And this can be very inconvenient because the energies throughout the night for that person who is visited can be very oscillating. The person may wake up each morning in a different way, may have dreams or experiences that are not exactly theirs, or may be a little contaminated, or may have a nice night depending on what sort of energy is penetrated. So that is something that we really need to understand. The fourth point is related with your lucidity. The more you train yourself or acquire the ability to be lucid, even though you may be dreaming or in a kind of lucid dream or projected, so you'll be having a lucid projection instead of an unconscious projection. And throughout the night, in all the different moments, if you can increase a little bit your level of lucidity, when some sort of energy is close by that is uncomfortable, contaminating, intrusive, that will call your attention. That is a similar process to, for example, when you are sleeping and some sort of idea comes or image and you think, this cannot be me, something is wrong, I'm going to wake up, this must be a dream, it's very bad. For example, so you were dreaming. Most people would not even think of that, but you had lucidity enough to realize what was going on. And sometimes we have a lucid dream, which means it's a dream, but we gain certain level of lucidity. So the more you make of it a second nature of yours, the more you will recognize when anything of this sort may be present. The fifth and last point here is also related to you. It is your natural level of self-defense. We can always apply a self-defense technique when we sense something is wrong. But when you have to do it, it means someone is already there, close to you, or someone already entered, and that's why you are applying the self-defense technique when something is wrong. What I am referring to here is more to a natural level of self-defense that progresses according to the stability and development of your aura, of your energy field. There are many techniques to do this. The technique I recommend and I like is the Velo technique. You have many videos here in the channel about this. Take a look and check if you are not familiar with it. But the more we are able to create for ourselves more balanced connection between the chakras, a more stable energy field with awareness of the information that we have in our energies, the more we can adjust and have this natural capacity to repel certain energies or presences. So instead of having to be always paying attention, we will be lucid, but at the same time more invulnerable to those visits or connection. That is a topic to be explored in itself, but here you see that there are things that you can do and there are aspects that you can check. Conclusion: even though it's possible to fly around, enter buildings, visit places, pass through walls when someone is projected, that does not mean necessarily that projector will be able to enter anywhere they want. And that does not mean you have just to accept whoever projector or non-physical consciousness wants to enter your place. I hope you enjoyed this information and it was useful to you. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. That's a nice feedback that helps me, and share the video. That's why I do them, to inform those who are looking for this type of knowledge. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.